Do you deal with food pushers in your life, trying to get you to eat all their unhealthy food when you've made changes to your life so that you can be healthy? Well, today on the Fabulous Health Show, I'm going to teach you how to deal with these people. Welcome to the Fabulous Health Show. My name is Terry Chrisman. I'm a whole foods plant-based nutritionist, and this show goes live every day at 10 a.m. US Central Time between now and November 19. This show teaches you the tools so that you can live a healthy and happy life and age with grace and vitality. I will be going weekly starting from November 19. So we've only got 9 days to go of the daily podcast. And I want to thank everybody who has been watching the podcast live, and everybody that's left comments, and all the people that have been downloading the audio version of the podcast from Spreaker or Google or Spotify or wherever it is that you get your podcasts. If you want to go back and binge listen or binge watch to all the podcasts, all you have to do is go to fabuloushealth.net. Click on the podcast tab, and there's buttons there that can help you sign up directly to your favorite platform, or you can just binge watch all the episodes there anyway. Okay, so let's talk about food pushers. I've identified 3 different types of food pushers, and I'm one of them. I got to say, I'm going to let it out there. I'm one of these food pushers. And I really don't mean to be, but I'm trying to change my ways so that I am not this person. So the first kind of food pusher is one that does it to justify their own actions. So let me tell you why I used to be, and I'm trying not to be, this kind of food pusher. So there used to be, where I used to live, thank goodness it's not there anymore because I don't live there anymore, but there was a vegan donut shop around the corner from my house, and it opened up at 8 o'clock in the morning. And on some Saturdays, I would say to my husband about 7:30, what do you reckon? Donuts for breakfast? And of course, he's not going to say no. He loves donuts. So he's like, yeah, for sure. So I'd send a little text to the donut shop at 8:01 because they opened up at 8. And then in 15 minutes, a man would come over to our house on his motorbike with the donuts. I mean, how fantastic was that? But not good for our health, obviously. And of course, we didn't want to order 2 donuts because we thought, well, that's not fair for the donut shop to make us those 2 little measly donuts and have that man drive on his motorbike all the way to our house for 2 little measly donuts. So then we decided that we better get 4 donuts. And of course, we didn't save them. We ate them all. And then the next time we ordered, we thought, well, 4 donuts really wasn't enough. So maybe we should get 6 donuts. Lucky, our brains kicked in at that point and realized that 6 donuts between 2 people for breakfast was too many. In fact, any donut for breakfast is too many. So we moved from that house, and there's no longer a donut shop that delivers to my house anymore, which I'm very grateful for. But I did like the vegan donuts. They were pretty damn good. So what about if you're in a restaurant and your friends, they want dessert, but you don't want dessert? So then they go, oh, do you want dessert? And you're like, nah. And they go, oh, well, I will if you will. And I read this the other day. I was in a restaurant, and in huge neon lights on the wall, it said, I will if you will. Now, if that isn't subliminal advertising, it's actually not very subliminal at all. It's right there in your face. I will if you will. When you're in a restaurant, they're offering you the dessert menu. I will if you will. The same when you're at the bar, when you're drinking alcohol, and you know that I'm against drinking alcohol. Yes, I have drunk alcohol in the past, and will I drink it in the future? Maybe. At the moment, I'm not drinking alcohol. But alcohol is not your friend as far as health goes. 7 calories per gram, plus it oxidizes itself very, very quickly through your body, and it doesn't allow you to burn your calories as food. I've done a whole podcast on alcohol, and you can go back to check that one out. But when you're at the bar and somebody else wants another drink, do you want another drink? Nah, not really. Oh, I will if you will. Yeah. So just remember, this is not about you. This is about them. So I have this magnificent friend, Lucy, and she's never drunk alcohol in her entire life. And she says something fantastic when people offer her a drink or they offer her a cupcake or whatever it is. And she does it with such a beautiful smile. She says, "Oh, not for me, thanks, but you go ahead." And then, so what's happening there is that the person who is asking you if you want a drink or a cupcake or a donut, they're actually asking you for permission for them to have one. And so you can say to them, "Not for me, thanks, but you go ahead," with a smile. So not like, "Oh, no, I don't want that, but you have one." No, they're not going to. If they want a drink or a donut, let them have a drink or a donut. Anyway, that's the first pusher, and I'm trying not to be that pusher anymore. Okay, the second type of food pusher are people like your mum and your grandmother and your mother-in-law, and they're usually women, but let's say your uncle, I might as well just put a guy in there, or your dad, somebody really close to you, particularly family, and they show their love with food. This has been happening for eons. People show their love for food. They make you cookies, they make you cakes, they make you peanut brittle to show the love. My dad used to, he used to go to the bakery and he would bring these huge, big, again, donuts. Listen to me. These huge donuts, they were called Long Johns, and they're about that long, a long donut, split down the middle, filled with whipped cream, and then topped with jam, and then covered in cinnamon sugar. Man, I remember those. And he used to buy, 5 or 6 of them and bring them home for the whole family. And I really liked apple slices or cherry danishes, but he'd always buy these Long Johns. And he would say to me, "Oh, look what I got you, honey. It's your favorite." Which, of course, it was not my favorite. It was his favorite. Oh, there's a food pusher right there. But he was showing love through food. Now, this is really, really difficult. And I'm not going to tell you how to deal with these people because they are your family and only you know how to deal with them. I'll just tell you what I've done in the past. So, for example, I have accepted the gift with grace and said, "Thank you so much." For example, my mother-in-law gave me, I think it was like a kilo of homemade peanut brittle a couple of years ago. And I love peanut brittle, but I know that it's no good for me. So I said, "Thank you very much," accepted it with grace. I was very happy. And then I put it in a tin and stuck it in the highest part of my cupboard so I couldn't find it. And then about 6 months ago, I was cleaning out the cupboard and here was this peanut brittle, which had gone through 2 summers in Dallas. When I'm talking heat, because a lot of the times we don't spend our time in Dallas, and the peanut butter was, bleh, it was dead. Thank goodness, because where did it go? Instantly in the bin. Now, you could try to tell these loving family members that you don't really want their treats anymore, but I know relationships are really delicate, and I'm going to leave that one up for you. But in this case, sometimes you can just say, "Thank you, I'll have one later," or "I'm too full, I really appreciate it," yeah, or "I'll take these home and eat them later," or something like that. So I actually told my mother-in-law a couple of years ago that I didn't eat butter or eggs anymore or milk, which she still hasn't really got into her brain, but that's okay. And so every year she makes the family cookies. She makes cookies for my daughter without nuts. She makes cookies for my son without without fruit. She makes cookies for my husband without chocolate or whatever, So she makes all these different cookies. And so do you know what she did for me? Nothing. Instead of trying to make me a cookie that was vegan, she just didn't make them for me. And for the first year, I was a bit peeved. I was like, hang on a minute. Everybody's getting cookies except for me. And then I thought, no, you know what? She's actually doing me a service, because even vegan cookies are going to have vegan butter, vegan sugar, vegan chocolate. A cookie is a cookie unless you make it like I do, which is bananas and oats, very, very simple, and vanilla. You could have a look on my website for that recipe, by the way. They're still going to be laden with fat, sugar, oil, and salt. And so we just don't want those. So then The third type of food pusher is, you ready for this? The know-all nutritionist. Now, I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about somebody who did not go to university, who does not have a nutrition degree, who knows absolutely nothing about the science of nutrition, but gee, do they have an opinion? Yeah. So you're talking about, I'm talking about people who say, why aren't you eating the turkey for Thanksgiving? Where are you going to get your protein? It's natural to eat animals. You'll miss out on all the nutrients. Okay, these people have a platform. Now, I know I have a platform. I have a platform for health and vitality and to help you not die of diseases. That's my platform. But people with a platform with no scientific nutritional knowledge, you can't argue with them at all. In fact, Plato said you can't argue with an idiot. Now, I'm not suggesting that your friends are all idiots. I'm just suggesting that if somebody is on a platform with little knowledge and little backed up science, you're wasting your time talking to them. You will not win. So if you want to have a discussion with them, you can say, well, that's okay for you, but I choose a different path. Now, if they're going to be confrontational, you want to change the subject and move on, because you just do not want that in your life, especially at times like family gatherings such as Thanksgiving and Christmas and all the holidays. You really don't want to deal with that. But you may find that when somebody hits you with that, you could come back with something to the way of saying, well, I've actually been doing some research and I've found that my new way of eating is actually really healthy, and I'm trying to get off my medications, and my doctor's been really supportive, and I've lost 10 pounds and I really feel like I've got a lot of energy. You never know. They may go, what? What do you mean? You've done what? Oh my God, you do look better. Oh, tell me about it. I can't suggest that everybody's going to say this. In fact, I think probably 80% of people are just going to, write you off. But you might get 20%. I'm just making up these statistics, by the way. This is not real science. You might get a few people who want to listen, and then instead of you being the expert, refer them to my website, refer them to all the books on my Amazon store. Like, I'm not as expert as those people who wrote those books. Refer them to the China study, refer them to How Not to Die, refer them to the Starch Solution, refer them to this book, which I just got yesterday. It's called Sad to Glad. I'm going to put this, actually, this is already on my website. It's fantastic. It's been written by two lovely ladies. One's a nurse, one's a nutritionist. And it's really quick to read. So refer them to the science, and then they might talk to you later and say, hey, I've lost 5 pounds. I tried eating some broccoli and who knew? Who knew once I stopped eating KFC that I might lose some weight and feel better? Anyway, really, what you eat is none of anybody else's business. The tricky bit is how you relate to people when you talk to them. And as I said, I can't tell you how to talk to your family. But if you have randos talking to you and getting on your case about it, then, all bets are off. You can say whatever you want. Stand up for your principles. Tell people that this is the healthiest way to live and to eat. And don't be scared to be loud and proud. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this program today. I'm on tomorrow again at 10 a.m. and I haven't even thought about what I'm going to do. I might actually do insulin resistance. I might talk about insulin resistance. Yes, that's what I'll do. I'm going to talk to you about insulin resistance. What is it? Why you need to avoid it, and how to stop it happening. All right. Have a fabulous day, everybody, and I'll see you tomorrow.